again, many thanks for your help there. Alright, back to Alan and Laura. Alan met Laura at a 21st party. And to quote Laura's own words here...
No, don't quote my words.
Alan stole my vodka drink out of my hands to see what it tasted like. And then he said, "That's horrible! When you've finished, come over here and I'll give you a real drink." So that was it. Love at first sight. Alan, generous to a fault, particularly when it comes to getting drinks for others. And if you didn't know it already, Alan does like the odd shandy or 21. In fact, probably most of you don't know this, but the other side of Alan, it's a totally different side, is that he's actually a very talented amateur magician. You see, not many people know that. Many a time, Alan will be walking down the street, and miraculously, he'll just turn into a pub. In seriousness though, you've been a brilliant mate to me over the past few years. It's been an honour to be your best man today. And with all my heart, I hope you have a long and happy marriage. You're a good man. Laura's a beautiful girl, heart of gold. She deserves a good husband. And aren't you lucky to have found her before she found one? Actually, no, there was a moment during the service today where I was a bit concerned. We had a rehearsal last Thursday, and Laura also was showing some nerves, and I too was a bit apprehensive. So in preparation for the big day, I did a bit of research on my computer, trying to find out what the service was properly about. Could have asked Bruce, but I thought no. I'll use Google. And I found out there are 3 key elements to the service. There's the aisle, and that's probably the longest walk you'll ever take. There's the altar, where 2 become 1. And there's the hymn, which is obviously the celebration of the whole service. Obviously, I feel Laura may have had the same idea, being honest. She might have been doing the same research as me, because during the service, as I was standing next to Alan and Laura was coming down to the front of the church, I heard her whispering to herself, mumbling like a mantra. Aisle. Altar. Hymn. Aisle. Altar. Aisle. Altar. On the topic of computers and using computers, I think Alan should be aware that women, and particularly wives, are a lot like computers. For example, only their creator understands their internal logic. The language they use to communicate with each other is totally incomprehensible to anybody else. And your smallest mistake will be stored in long-term and retrieved at a later point. And finally, as soon as you've committed to one, you end up spending half your wage packet on buying accessories.
Hell yeah!
Anyway, I think I've done enough for a while. So what I'd like is a bit of audience participation.
Okay.
Okay. I just moved that a little bit.
Okay.
This is very important. Laura, I'd like you to put your hand on it, please, darling.
Which one?
That one.
That one. Okay. If I'm going to get hit, I'm not
No,
doing
you're not.
it.
I wouldn't do that. You know that.
You might.
I'd like you, please, to just gently place your palm on top of this. Okay. There you go. Now I want you to make the most of this moment. because this is probably the last time you're going to have the upper hand. Sorry, anyway, enough of that. As is traditional, at this point I'd like to make a few pointers for your married life from myself. A man with 10 years of happy marriage behind him. It was our 21st wedding anniversary this year. But I distinctly remember 10 of them being happy. Firstly, you need to remember something. That speech you just delivered is probably the last time you'll be able to speak without being interrupted by your wife. Secondly, I never want you two to go to bed angry. Sue and I have always lived by this, which explains why our neighbours are always woken by shouting in the early hours of the morning. But hey, when I got married, so obviously we were told that marriage was a 50-50 partnership. And Alan, you need to realise that anyone who believes that, first of all, knows very little about women, and even less about friendships. Fourthly, finally, and most important, is always talk to your mother-in-law. And for goodness sake, don't do what I did. Very early on in my marriage, I made that mistake. Being serious, I didn't talk to my mother-in-law. It was about a period of 2 years when I didn't talk to my mother-in-law. Don't misunderstand me. I love her to bits, and we got on really well. But I just don't like interrupting. And on that bombshell, I'm going to draw this speech to a rapid conclusion. In seriousness, Laura and Alan have had a truly wonderful life together so far. Today's ceremony is sealing each other, two spirits which have begun travelling down a path together, two becoming one. I offer my own best wishes to you both, my friends, for a continued happy journey down that path. A long, prosperous, happy life together. May your love be modern enough to survive the times, but old-fashioned enough to live forever. So to wrap this up, I'd like to say that marriage is not about finding someone you can live with. It's about finding someone you can't live without. I'm sure you're going to be very happy together. I speak for everyone here when I say I wish you both the best for your future life together. And now, as a man who'll drink to anything, it gives me great pleasure, an immense pleasure, to invite you all to be upstanding, raise your glasses, and join me in a toast to Laura and Alan, because I think they were made for each other. Ladies and gentlemen, and you, Mr. and Mrs. Forrest, Alan and Laura. And on that, over to you, sir.